Seeing as this is the holiday season, we are all in the holiday spirit.
Oh, yeah.
Tess, there's a song, and it's called The 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, one of my favorites.
And you see, Tess, The Rock wants to sing you 12 things that you can look forward to tonight.
What? Rock's gonna sing here on SmackDown? Oh, boy.
And The Rock will go slow at first for you, Tess, just so you can understand. It goes like this. On a night Tess faced the great one, this is what he'll see.
Wow.
12 sharpshooters stinging, 11 eyebrows raising, 10 spines a busting, 9 noggins knocking, 8 kicks a kicking, 7 punches punching, 6 suplex smashing, 5 seconds of the people chanting The Rock's name. Four rock bottoms, 3 people's elbows on your 2 buck teeth, and a kicking all over New Orleans.
King, there's only one Rock. That'll put everybody in the Christmas spirit, except for Test.
This is Space Jesus Billy Starks, and you're listening to Sit Down Mark's podcast with Primo, Didi, and AJ.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that great stuff. Thank you guys for joining us here today for episode number 43. This is officially our first Christmas episode, boys. Welcome.
That is right.
Merry Fishmas, everyone.
Christmas
The Rock
episode.
has a lovely singing voice.
And AJ has a wonderful Christmas sweater on.
He is in the spirit, brother. Ooh, yeah.
The winner is you.
Little story behind this Christmas sweater. This is from my 3 favorite Irish. These are from my 3 favorite Irish lads. OSW review. I've talked about them so much, like they're awesome. And their catchphrase, because Eric, DB, you probably know kayfabe. At the end of pro wrestling, when you beat it for Nintendo, it says "A winner is you."
A winner is you. Yep.
Yeah, winner.
So
I got this.
Got his hands up in the air.
It's officially a Christmas Gansey. That's what they call sweaters in Ireland, apparently.
That is awesome.
Gansey. So this is my Christmas Gansey that I will be wearing for a week straight, and it's extraordinarily warm. Jesus Christ.
It looks thick, but you look festive nonetheless, brother. So you are in the spirit. Right.
Yeah,
that's one thing I've never had. I've never had like a wrestling holiday sweater. Never. I don't see how that fell through the cracks. I don't know. It's weird. I have 1,000 wrestling shirts and sweatshirts, but none for Christmas.
I've never had any Christmas sweater at all, ever. Never an ugly Christmas sweater.
I tried to buy one off of a guy last weekend because it was part of this bar crawl that this group was doing. And for each bar, they had a list of bars, and for each one they had a different game they had to play at each bar. So when they came into my bar, it was talk in an accent the entire time.
That's great.
And so this guy, first of all, he had on a sweater not dissimilar from this one, only it had little Shawn Michaels' super kicking all over the place.
Whoa.
And he spoke with a Macho Man accent the entire time. And I offered him $50 for his sweater, and he wouldn't sell it to me. First of all, he was he was like a size XXX, and I'm like, I don't care. I want that sweater.
You could probably make you a sweater out of that.
Yes, I could turn it into a Christmas tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I've not had one over the years, but very cool.
I'm jealous.
Very good.
I've been on 2 different pub crawls in my life. One in the Czech Republic and one in Rome, and neither one of them had fun games like that. They just granted me with shots at the door.
That's also what they do.
It is. But welcome, everybody. Happy holidays. Like I said, Merry Christmas. This is episode number 43. I am your heel host, the Dirty Bird, always here helping to spread the good word of wrestling. The panel right here I got here with me today, as usual, as always, my boys, my co-hosts, the Marks. First of all, from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme himself, editor and producer, bringing you those hot fire clips, just like the one you heard of The Rock just now. Primo, happy holidays, brother.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to all the Marks out there. It's me, your favorite Primo. That's right. If I'm not your favorite, then, you can go.
You're the favorite one named Primo.
Yes, if I'm not your favorite Primo, then you need to show me where these other Primos are out there.
Oh,
we will have a battle royale of Primos, and I will win.
Co-host, babyface, straight out of your mama's kitchen, master of the forearm chart, assistant editor and producer of the show. He is currently the sit-down Marks Kurt Angle champion, Mr. Rampage.
You don't have to acknowledge that part.
Shark.
It's too late. It's been acknowledged. And Merry Christmas, everyone. I am back from my little sabbatical last week.
He thinks he's the champion. He can act like Roman Reigns over here and just take a week off.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, I was on a nice vacation. I will
AJ
say,
came back to fire us like Paul Heyman.
Right.
Yeah, like Paul Heyman. I will say, last week, guys, excellent show. I enjoyed the shit out of it. It was really good. And I was worried that I was no longer needed. I was like, well, shit.
Oh no!
That
pal.
could have gone a little worse,
just
to make me feel more secure. But
it was. If it makes you feel better, me and Dirty used to have a whole other podcast, but so we have this whole other.
It came out so well, AJ, because we had the highest of expectations to imitate every part that you do for our podcast. So we had to do it up. We had to make you proud.
That's why I was so excited to do
with a tear in my eye.
It was very well done. I felt redundant after I listened to it. I'm like, well, shit, they've got it down. Like,
no. Definitely, what you bring to the show is definitely needed, my friend.
Yes,
well, because I'm the champ and you're my valet, so
we need you just like we need our. We need you just like we need our sponsors today. Sponsoring today's podcast is Coastland Apparel. Go check out coastlandapparel.com. Use promo code BirdTV for 15% off your order. And also back this week to sponsor another podcast is Jet Designs. Go check out Jet Designs. That's JET. DESIGNS on Facebook. If you need a custom diecast car, sports logo, whatever you need made for yourself, that is the place to go. Jet Designs there on Facebook is a place to get your custom diecast car made, and we appreciate them sponsoring the podcast. Okay, today we need to thank everyone listening on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and SportsWire Online Radio, Fridays at 6:15, right before the Thomas Price Show and throughout the week. So, we really appreciate it. If you'd like to pod, please tell a friend and leave us a great 5-star review on whatever platform you listen from. What the hell's so funny, boys? What are y'all laughing at?
Nothing.
All right, 38 days away from the Royal Rumble, man. That is
see it.
1 week away from being inside a month, boys, before we're in St. Louis.
Literally.
Hell yes. I can't wait. It's going to be so exciting.
I know, man. I'm excited too. It's going to come quick. And what's cool about this, guys, is I kind of keep forgetting this. We get to see 2 Rumbles live. Women's and men's.
Yeah.
This is going to be dope.
Yes, that's right.
This is going to be dope.
I cannot wait, and hopefully, it definitely still takes place with fans.
Also, I think it will. I don't think they're going to shut down anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to put that in the back of my head right now.
Yep, me too. Also, Primo, your pick is looking better and better by the day. After this week, I was shit.
I might have made a call.
Yes,
might have made a call. All right. So for today's Pop of the Pod, guys, I want to throw it back here a little bit. this guy was one of all of our favorite wrestlers. He just had a birthday. One of the biggest and best Dark Order members there ever was. So today we're going to throw it back to the Exalted One and remember Mr. Brody Lee. Anytime I'm going to see a Gator roll for the rest of my life, I'm always going to think of Brody Lee, Luke Harper. So today, the Exalted One is where we're headed.
Wake up your mind.
That's so epic.
Dude, I
gotta tell you, I like
right?
I like the gravitas that song has. Like it's not your. I mean, you guys know how much I don't like metal, which a lot of theme songs are. That one has weight to it. I love it so much. I might actually listen to that.
That one is like an epic war song.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I was fired up to go join the Dark Order after listening to that one, and and has a little something extra to it that Brody talks in it. You know what I mean? So it's it's kind of cool. So all right, we flip things around here a little bit. AJ is now bringing us this day in wrestling history and birthday. So AJ, what's going on in wrestling history here today?
This day in wrestling history and birthdays, that is December 22nd for you marks out there.
Nice.
We start off. Yeah, I'm trying. So it's kind of slim pickings, but we'll start off in 1997. The NWO completely takes over the WCW Monday Nitro set, changing everything. It was kind of an experiment to see if they could do their own. Have their own program, and it backfired spectacularly because at this point, the NWO music was playing every 8 seconds.
Oh, like this?
Yep.
For life.
They lost.
So awful. They lost 25% of their audience in their first half after that little garbage experiment. We move on to 1998 at a taping of Raw in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Raven defeats Steve Blackman for the Hardcore Championship. Important moment in wrestling history.
In Chattanooga.
And then in Chattanooga, I hear they have nice choo-choos.
That's about as big as that one when I pulled Rhino to the square.
I know.
To the history.
It gets worse. So in 2008 in SmackDown in Toronto, Canada, Maurice defeats Michelle McCool for the WWE Divas Championship. Maurice was a Divas Championship.
Oh yeah, she
also
a couple times, didn't she?
She's Canadian.
So then I found this one. I'm going to attribute it to today because I just saw it an hour ago.
Okay.
In 2004, Matt Riddle defeated the Field in the New York State Wrestling Championship to win the state championship in wrestling. Guess who was third place in that same tournament?
Jones.
John Bones Jones. Placed third.
I happened to see that as well. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. Matt was a legit.
But that is so awesome.
Yeah. Matt Riddle and John Jones.
Yeah.
What up, bro?
What up, bro? Yeah. That actual clip was a time from when I met him. And it was cool, man. He's cool. Yeah, hit it again.
What up, bro?
I was kind of impersonating him, and he kind of impersonating me, impersonating him back to me.
That was pretty good.
Real cool dude, but yeah, legit
what up, bro?
He used to break some jaws, man, in
Randy.
MMA, so, sure.
Randy. Okay.
I gotta get that shirt.
We will, yes, you do. Actually, don't. I'm going to send it to you for Christmas. We move on to birthdays. First, it's not today, but it was the 19th. I want to mention in 1961, one Gene Mean Okerlund was born. Best interviewer / backstage.
I gotta do it. It's in my chest. I gotta do it. You ready?
Yeah, come on.
Mean! Woo! Gene!
Good. I love it.
That was pretty good. That was very good.
I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
Just before his birthday.
Love some Mean Gene, man. Great. Good stuff.
Yes, I did. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
It's good.
It's fine.
We're live,
So
pal.
up next, this is also not today, but I'm throwing it in here just to add to your Primo Battle Royale. In 1982, on December 21st, we have none other than Primo of Primo and Ecw fame.
Oh, yeah.
Los Matadores.
They still sell
Carlito's cousin.
Carlito's cousin.
They still
It's
sell
his birthday yesterday.
They still sell
Yeah,
time
sells time
Yeah,
shares.
they were real, or they were travel agents. Like, what a terrible
Primo and
fucking
Ecw.
gimmick. Ugh.
Just
They weren't bad
dude.
wrestlers either.
Right, I know.
So today we have a couple. We have none other than in 1983, Festus, aka Luke Gallows.
Big LG.
Love him. And then also today, Sin, I'm going to botch everything and be born in 1982, Sin Cara.
It's funny because I thought that Epico was at one time, or was he like in the mix with Sin Cara, or
He was Sin Cara
He might have
at one time.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
I thought he was Sin Cara.
Yeah, he was
me
one of the
too.
couple that played him. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't the
and he
eventual
botched too.
one, but
And then of course I have to mention, since
I
this is
think
our
the gimmick
Christmas
was
episode,
just cursed.
I think Primo and Epico were just cursed. As was Sin Cara.
Yeah.
Remember when they would like switch the lights? I hated everything about it. Christmas Day in 1985, none other than God's favorite champion, Miro, was born.
man, he was a
born.
gift.
I know,
So
man. Yeah. I mean,
Happy birthday to Miro and Jeebus, I guess.
That's cool. I saw a picture of him and his wife dressed up in Matrix attire.
Yeah.
Going to
they were at the premiere.
Yeah.
Which was very cool. I really want to see that movie, by the way.
Primo, hit us now.
It's on demand today.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Spider-Man
after this.
is?
No, Matrix.
No, Matrix.
Oh.
I am seeing
Y'all got
Spider-Man
me
again
excited.
tomorrow, though.
Y'all got me excited for a second because I haven't been able to see it. So is it gonna be strictly movies
In theaters for the moment.
For the moment.
Wait,
okay.
the Matrix
Like
or
the-
Spider-Man?
No, Matrix
Spider-Man.
is on demand.
Yeah, Matrix is streaming for a month, and then
For
Spider-Man.
all you
is
marks
in
out there
theaters.
listening,
Gotcha. Yeah,
Yes.
all you nerds out. Yeah, we're getting off tangent here. Primo, now it is your turn to bring us wrestling in the headlines, man. What's going on right now?
Okay. This week in wrestling headlines, per Fightful and Culture State.
Whose
Tony
game
Khan-
is it? AJ's game, baby. Woo! 50-something days.
Not even 50.
Champion.
No way. Like
Oh God.
3 weeks.
Yeah. By next week's pod, AJ, you need an exact number. An exact number.
Next week is going to hit triple digits.
Yeah, let's see.
Sorry, had to get that in there.
He'll hit 200 days before we know. Look, I still have my board up here that says 219.
I'll beat it.
Per Fightful and Culture State, Tony Khan has confirmed that Battle of the Belts will be an hour-long special on TNT, and it's set to air Saturday, January 8th, as of this time.
I'm super excited for that show.
Via Twitter, Eddie Kingston confirmed that he missed his most recent scheduled booking with Defy due to being exposed by someone with COVID. However, Eddie has since tested negative.
Well, that's good.
Good.
It's
Yeah.
scary.
That's also, speaking of Defy, I'm sure you're going to talk about it, but you going to talk about that?
Go
The
ahead.
new Defy? Okay. Christopher Daniels?
About him, he's going to be on a Defy card.
No, he's a new champion, I think.
Oh, I haven't seen.
Mhm.
No, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fightful Select reports that Alex Hammerstone has signed a multi-year extension with MLW, taking him to at least the end of 2023.
Yeah.
You
I
like
love
this
Alex
one,
Hammerstone.
Dirty? Are you ready? Sammy Callahan, the Death Machine Years, is set to debut in January on pay-per-view and on demand. This is a compilation of some of Sammy's greatest matches, highlighting his rise to where he is at now.
Dope. I thought you were going to give me insight that he was coming back soon. I was like,
Oh God, no,
yeah.
he's out for
He's in.
at least
Yeah.
6 more months.
WWE
Yeah,
is currently offering buy one get one free for the Royal Rumble. Offering buy one get one free for the Royal Rumble.
Wait, what?
We should have waited. We should have waited.
Yeah, this offer
Darn them.
expires on Christmas Eve.
Oh my God, that's like the equivalent of, like, you know those mattress stores that constantly have like going out of business sales, and then they just move to a different store and then they do another go. That's what this reminds me of for some reason. Like, I don't know why. Like,
Well,
after
I mean,
the abysmal performance of Raw,
Going, and it's like don't miss out, and like the next week, they're still saying don't miss out.
yeah,
And
don't miss out.
I'm like, wait, I thought that was ended last week. Why are you still on the radio?
Probably trying to entice people to buy tickets too that might be a little hesitant because of COVID or,
yeah,
whatever,
Bret Hart
Maybe.
has been inducted into the Canadian Walk of Fame.
Who has?
Of course.
Bret Hart.
Brett needs to
Okay,
be in
better.
every Canadian Hall of Fame, everything, even like
The
class,
hockey
I don't
one
know.
and the
Yeah,
maple syrup
all-
one,
all
and
that.
everything.
Yeah, Brett made all that.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah,
What would Brett do?
be boring. Per Fightful Select.
You
Vince
take
McMahon,
it back, sir.
Rude. That's just
Vince-
rude.
Per Fightful Select, Vince McMahon has no interest in adding a no-cut clause to WWE contracts.
Yeah, it takes control out of his hands, man.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It also keeps the wrestlers, if you feel like you're always walking on eggshells or always, scared for your freaking job.
Yeah.
It's not a good way to keep your performers happy. Like, I don't
No, it definitely won't boost morale.
No.
And lastly, we have a quote here pulled from WrestlingNews.co about Baron Corbin, talking about how the sad Corbin gimmick was only supposed to last 2 weeks. Here we go. Baron Corbin says, "I honestly believe that the sad Corbin gimmick wasn't supposed to last as long as it did. From what I understand, it was supposed to be 2 weeks, a 2-week thing. I was going to lose the crown and get a little bit depressed. It became very entertaining, and I had a lot of fun because it was the polar opposite of anything I have ever done. I think that what's fun about this job for me is it doesn't become monotonous when you continually evolve. If it was this miserable guy with a dirty shirt, the worst part was not being able to cut my hair or my beard. I got a text at 2 a.m. from Vince that said, 'Don't shave or cut your hair, pal.' After like 3 weeks, he said he has the Costanza hair growing. And then they said the best part was he was visiting schools for his daughter. He said they're private schools, and my daughter's 2.5, and he's going in his beard and hair, and you can't wear hats in these places, and he looks ridiculous. And he's having to apologize for how he looks because it's his job. He was getting judged the whole time.
That's amazing.
Wow. Well, hey, you got to live the gimmick, I guess. Sometimes,
Yeah. But that's
Baron
this
Corbin.
week in the headlines.
Nice. Pretty cool there. All right. Time for the fan shout out. You can DM us on Twitter at SitDownMarks or on Facebook at SitDownMarks. Let us know when and where you listen to the podcast, and we will shout you out on the pod. Today's shout out goes to David over in the UK. We got a lot of love from the UK here lately. David listens at work and in the car. So, David, thank you, brother. Appreciate it. AJ, Primo, you guys got anything to say to David over there listening to the podcast?
Thank you, amigo.
Cheers, mate. God, I'm
Cheers,
terrible
mate.
at that. Was supposed to be an
completely
accent.
different things.
Oh my God, I'm so awful at accents. Thank you very much, David. That's
Thank you,
amazing.
Dave. Merry Christmas.
We appreciate it, David, and I apologize in advance. I mean, if you listen to the pod, then you know how these guys are. So, no shocker
We're
there.
idiots.
So, absolute idiots. But, all right, time to get to the moment we've all been waiting
Thunderdome.
for. Not really. It's time for AJ to break down his movie of the week.
AJ's Movie of the Week.
And we're back. So, last week I didn't get to talk about what is becoming one of my legitimate favorite Christmas movies, Santa's Sleigh, starring Bill Goldberg.
No.
I watched it 3 times. Just so you got 3 times I watched it.
God.
Because the first time, because I've seen it before. The first time I watched it, I was like, this is so entertaining. Bill Goldberg is cleaning a stripper pole before he uses it as a weapon. It was so funny. Which he does, by the way. He like picks up a stripper pole to use as a weapon. And then he's like, ew, and then like sprays it with cleaner and wipes it down. It's so good. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Bill Goldberg just murders everyone, like he murders an entire town because he's evil Santa, and he was forced to be good because of some ancient Norse thing, and it's so stupid, and I love it. At one point,
This movie makes zero sense.
Like, so he's like Santa, played by Goldberg, is supposed to be like all powerful and omnipotent and whatever. And at one point, he's trying to murder the two leads with a Zamboni machine. It's like you don't need to do that, Santa Berg. You can just You can just murder them.
Gold claws.
Gold claws. Oh my!
God. It's so.
My favorite I have is one of the quotes from the beginning of the movie. Whenever they're saying grace at the beginning, they say, "Thank you for not making us poor or Samoan."
Or Samoan. That beginning scene is so weird because it has James Caan in it. It has Fran Drescher, who is smoking hot as like a. I don't even know how old she is in that, but she's smoking hot. Yeah. And like James Caan in an uncredited role, and of course Goldberg shows up and murders everyone. And there's this one part, like it's really well done for a crappy B movie. At one point, there's this animated sequence in it, and it tells the story about how Santa became evil. And at one point, a hell portal opens up because that's where Santa's from, and. It's amazing. I go watch it. It's not Christmas yet. Everyone go watch it before Christmas. It is fantastic.
It's great. It's awesome.
It is.
I would say,
I love it.
Yeah, I started to watch it in the living room, and then realized my kids were awake and thought maybe this isn't the best one. This isn't one that my kids should watch.
Well, I value my time a little more, so I didn't watch this dumb shit. So,
you're missing out. You are. It's.
I bet I am. I'll take your word for it. Like you guys.
I value my time so much. I've seen that movie at least 2 or 3 times myself.
I saw it 3 times this week. That's how.
All right.
That's how awesome it was.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. As we always do, we got the weekly recap coming up next. Today, our dropkick discussion is 2006, December to Dismember. We're going to break that big debauchery of a pay-per-view down here. We're still in our pay-per-view or ECW month. And then me and the boys are going to play a little Christmas version of Squared Circle Questions. That's going to be fun. And then a little bit later, we're going to bring you the big interview we've all been waiting for, and you guys have been waiting for. A really, really great interview talking with Midwest independent wrestler, Pizza Cat, Space Jesus herself, Billy Starks. That interview is coming up. So let's get rolling here. AJ, tell the masses where they can get that Marks merch.
Well, masses, it's hard to do a primo voice. Well, masses, what you do is you get on your little interwebs there and you type into the old search bar tpublic.com/stores/sit down marks. That is sit down marks. TeePublic stores. I mixed them all up. tpublic.com/stores/sit down marks. Get your, you can get the Christmas things, but it's probably going to be retired soon. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats. No hats. Coffee mugs, baby clothes, notebooks, flags, all your delicious Marks merch. Go there, buy some stuff, do some things. We'll put the money back into the podcast.
This is Levi Cooper.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins.
This is Big B.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw, and you're listening
to the Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
Sit Down Marks.
And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
All right, time to talk about our weekly recap here. As we got AEW coming up, we got some Impact Wrestling coming up, and we got WWE as of course here. So, but first, this is usually the time where I bring you what's going on in the independent scene. Well, guess what? Christmas is on a Saturday and Christmas is on a weekend, so not no wrestling really going on this weekend that I could scrap up, search up. So I'm going to take this very opportunity to tell you guys to go out there and subscribe to independent wrestling television. That's iwtv.com, or also go check out highspots.com and watch some great indie wrestling over the weekend. These guys put out all the great independent wrestling throughout the week on those shows and on their network. So we greatly appreciate them, and it makes us able to catch independent wrestling when we can't be there live. So big shout out to IWTV, High Spots, AAW On Demand, all those other ones that we listen to. So that's what we're going to do today for the Indie Roundup. So, AJ, you're up next, my brother. Let's talk about what happened in AEW last week, man, because we got a big Dynamite coming up tonight.
We do. And an even bigger Dynamite last week. Really, there's only one thing that, well, actually, I'm going to talk about all of it, but there's one main thing. Of course, winter is coming, and it was Hangman Adam Page against Bryan Danielson in a 60-minute time limit draw. How does this match, which has no finish, be match of the year? I don't understand it. It starts off like it's almost like a New Japan match again, where it starts off really slow and then it keeps building, and all the moves are hit, faces are stomped in. At one point, Bryan Danielson hits like my favorite sequence ever, where he does like this German suplex and then he goes for the cattle mutilator. It was so awesome.
And we see a counter to the cattle mutilator.
Yeah, I think this match really legitimized, because I know I was bitching about Hangman Page 2 weeks ago, where I was like, he hasn't really done anything to prove himself, like blah blah blah. This he deserves to be there. Like obviously, this match was unfucking believable, and it had no finish. 60-minute time limit draw. What were your thoughts?
I mean, I was enamored. That hour went by fast. It definitely built. Had the build to it. I wasn't mad about the finish. I wanted Paige to go over clean, but obviously they don't want Bryan to take that loss yet. But I don't know. The day before that came on, I heard. I started thinking this was a 2-year push for storyline to get Adam back up, to the world title, and now we got it. So the more I thought about it, I'm like, he ain't losing to Bryan. So I automatically thought he's going over clean or schmaz. For some reason I never thought about the time limit draw, which
me neither.
Damn them, they got me. You know what I mean? But But it makes sense going forward. But I felt like to make Paige like I felt like if they were going to establish him as like a solid big champion, he needed to put Bryan on his belt like as a notch to kind of get his reign started. But so this still makes me kind of think, he might be losing it a little bit later. But man, this match was awesome, man. I enjoyed the shit out of this one, man. This was good.
Yeah, it was really good. I'd say for me at about. It's about like the 35-40 minute mark. At that point, I was like, they're going 60 minutes.
Me too.
Yeah. As somewhere around there, I was like, they're going the distance. But I still obviously was invested. And it was great. You could tell they were doing everything.
Yeah. Let me bring up something to you guys real quick. Let's say WWE had done this same match and had done the draw. I think we would be pretty pissed at WWE, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like this kind of seems a little bit of a cop out.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a pay-per-view, so
right. Well, it was an event.
Sure,
they only have like 4 or 5 a year, so But I think that it's just is this going to become a thing with Daniel Bryan match or Bryan Danielson matches?
Bryan Danielson.
I mean, no, they can't keep doing this. You know, what
I know, right?
I don't think they will.
They keep using it as a safe way to keep Bryan safe and keep the other competitors safe. The champion.
Well, I think they're. I don't think they'll do this again because I think when the inevitable rematch happens, I think Danielson's going to take the title from him. I don't think that'll happen until their next pay-per-view, which is in March, I think. So I think in the meantime, Hangman will have some good quality feuds going forward. And then I think when they get their eventual rematch, then Danielson's gonna win.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Danielson has now had 3 Match of the Year contenders, 2 of which were time limit draws. How does this man do this? Fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, he's just putting on great matches, man. And plus, too, unless Daniel has a really hard heel turn, he does something really nasty and dastardly kind of deal, he's still going to have a lot of fans that just stay with him no matter what. So he's
just because he's so awesome.
Yeah, he's just going to be a tweener. So, so he made Adam look even better than he did before after that match. This was awesome.
I think this was definitely more of a shine up for Adam. For Hangman than it was for DB or Bryan Danielson.
BD.
Fuck me, dude. We just call it everything. American Dragon.
Yeah. The American Dragon.
But yeah, I think it was more so to make Hangman it was to make him more legitimate.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it did. So moving on, that was an hour and 20 minutes of the show. It was an hour-long match, and then there was before and after.
Sure. Yeah.
So then, Wardlow squashed Matt Sydal. Fine. And then we had MJF versus Dante Martin for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, which is this match was another. Yep. there's no way MJF should ever lose that ring, and he didn't. He went over Dante Martin. But then the cool part was the aftermath when FTR came out and they were like blah blah blah. But then the lights went off and Sting and Darby Allin appear in the ring. And the heels commence beatdown, and then CM Punk's music hits. CM Punk rushes to the ring, and now tonight we get CM Punk, Sting, and Darby Allin against MJF and FTR. Are you fucking kidding me? This is AEW right now.
Right?
Holy fuck!
Yeah. Who would have thought a year ago this would have been a match?
Oh my god!
I know.
Oh my god!
They're making dream matches happen with all these relationships, and it's fucking great for a fan like us, man.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's like being 10 again.
Yeah.
I
we could literally see Griff Grifferson versus Chris Jericho at some point.
No, we will not see
Griff
Grifferson do a goddamn thing.
I'm sorry.
He is going against Malachi Black tonight, isn't he?
Yeah. He's going to beat Malachi Black tonight.
It's a Griff Grifferson signing, AJ.
I'm joking.
No, there's no Griff Grifferson.
Yeah.
I hope
me and Primo are jumping on the Griff Grifferson train.
We're on the Griff wagon.
And you need to get on or get run over, pal.
I will wreck the Griffmobile if I ever see it anywhere near the fucking Griff trade. He's so stupid.
Oh,
Griff
no.
Grifferson.
Funny.
This is how bad you are. We can't even remember your last name.
But think about anyway, back to this match. CM Punk, Darby, and Sting. That's 3 different decades of my favorite wrestlers.
Yep, they were right there, 3 generations. If I had to pick a favorite from each, it'd be
right.
All I can say is
maybe not Darby Allin, but he's
all I can say is print the shirts. Griff is money.
I will burn every single shirt. Grifferson for life. The GWO. No, I hate this gimmick, and I am gonna punch myself in the tooth for even prolonging it. So that was Dynamite, which fantastic, and then we move on to Rampage. Rampage is an hour long. There were 28 performers on this hour-long episode of Rampage. And that was just a quick count. I might have missed a couple. I don't know. So we had... Oh, boy. It's the Undisputed Elite Super Click versus the Roppongi Chaos Best Friends in an 8-man tag match, which is, of course, Young Bucks, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole.
Pay attention.
I just realized y'all were looking at me.
Timed perfectly.
Read a chat, fool.
Yeah, I got you.
As you were.
So as this is an 8-man tag match, so all the things happen. And it was, it's hard to even take notes on this, so I didn't. I just watched it. Adam Cole.
I got you this time, except I wasn't ready.
Here we go. Thank you.
He looked fantastic. Orange Cassidy probably looked the worst out of all this. The end of the match was, Trent Beretta pins Bobby Fish. It was fun. It was a whole lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Then we have, 8 more performers on with Daniel Lambert, Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, Cody Rhodes, Dustin Rhodes, Sammy Guevara, all in a segment. Sure.
Spanish God.
Then we have Tay Conti versus Penelope Ford in a submission match. This match was actually really, really good. Tay Conti got the win. And then it also included the Bunny and Anna Jay. So there's some more people in there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Lucha Bros, Eddie Kingston, Santana and Ortiz, 2.0, Garcia, and the Acclaimed.
Oh. The Acclaimed has arrived. Oh, by the way, I didn't say it last week because I was trying not to give away that I was like ribbing you about your birthday on the pod. Anthony Bowen not only does he have a birthday the same week as you, it's the same day.
What? No, it's not.
No. Sure. Yeah, you do.
Nah, I'm pretty sure he found out that he was listening to the show and he's like, oh, it's AJ's birthday. I want that to be my birthday as well.
The Acclaim has arrived on AJ's birthday.
And then Max Castro's like, yo, listen. And I'm like, no, you can't have my birthday.
Yo,
listen.
Yeah, God, I hate him.
I need to get that sound.
He barely even got it out before he had to start scrapping. They didn't get to do the rap this week, so that's what I look forward to. So I was a little pissed, but it's kind of funny. 2.0 and Daniel Garcia walking out to the Acclaim's rap song, so that was funny.
Yeah,
but,
no,
yeah. Yep.
Oh shit! I totally forgot as well. Jurassic Express and Christian came out after the match, so that's 31 people, not 28. I'm sorry, I miscounted. I honestly don't even remember who got the win. I think it was the Heels. Yeah. The Heels.
Yeah, I think it was the Heels. Yeah. I watched this past Monday, so.
Also, really quick, I forgot to mention Serena Deeb and Sheeta had a fantastic. Those two are so good together. Whenever they wrestle, they were on Dynamite. Yeah. It was just easy to overlook because of the two matches sandwiching the the fucking program.
They're putting out some good matches, man. I've said before, I'm a big fan of Sheeta. But all right, man. So are we all in agreement that the surprise tonight is probably going to be Kyle O'Reilly? Is that what we're thinking? Cool, Kyle.
I don't know. I kind of like the Briscoes, but it's probably
man. If
be
it's
cool.
Briscoes,
give me both.
But Adam Cole specifically has a surprise.
Yeah. So that's why it makes sense. But it could be Swerve. It could be somebody totally different. There's a lot of free agents out there.
I would not give a shit if it was Kyle O'Reilly. I'd be like, yeah, okay, sure. But if it was the Briscoes, I'd be like, Briscoes.
What if
get another cool tag team?
What if we ended up having like a Undisputed versus Elite Civil War type?
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. But then you'd have to turn half of them face, and I don't want to see any of those guys turn face.
It'd be the Bucks go face.
You think so over Adam Cole?
My brain
New
always
Day.
goes back to Ring of Honor with Adam Cole, Matt Taven, Michael Bennett, all available. So, that could be some strong little adds to the faction. So I don't know. And then Brody King too, been signed by AEW. So,
right.
A lot of people are speculating he's joining Malachi Black's stable. But I love Brody. I've seen him wrestle, Sammy Callahan. He was former AAW champion in Chicago. He's got a different look, man, and he's scary as fuck when he comes out with that ski mask on.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty wild, man. It's pretty wild. So, anything else for AEW, AJ?
Wyndham Rotunda.
When's he coming? Tell us. When's he coming? I
don't know.
Are we going to see him for the end of the year?
How far along is that movie?
It's still filming. Last I checked, yes. But it's not like they don't have airplanes.
Wyndham Rotunda showing up on AEW. Will we see him by the end of the year? Yes or no?
No.
No?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
We'll see Bo Dallas.
All right. Let's get back
I would shit my pants if I saw Bo Dallas. I fucking love Bo Dallas.
All right,
I love Bo Dallas.
Let me bring you guys what happened last week on Impact Wrestling. As Impact Wrestling came on TV, guys, we had a tribute to Jimmy Rave on the screen. Very similar to what Impact Wrestling does, with the name and the dates with the picture on screen. So Jimmy Rave, obviously in Impact TNA a while back, so it was nice to see that on screen. But as we get going here, the opener was Josh Alexander beating Rohit Raju. And then Jonah comes out later, cuts a promo on the screen to Josh Alexander. Basically what they're going to, what Jonah's going to do to him, kind of deal when they finally meet up. And then next up was a very good match that I enjoyed. Trey Miguel beat John Skyler. Pretty good match back and forth. They kind of shining up Trey Miguel here because he is the current X Division champion. So, but Skyler was so good in this match. But post-match, Macklin attacks Trey Miguel and literally drags him to the back, like by his parts, by his legs,
by his parts, by his giblets,
by his extremities. What'd you say, Primo?
Does Macklin still have the sweet tea?
He hasn't done the T. Jameson spot in a while. He's basically just, kind of just a kicking ass dude.
He went
now.
sober and to kick ass.
Yeah, he did.
He's there to drink tea and kick ass, and he's all out of tea.
That's it. Next up, Chris Bay from the Bullet Club beats the Laredo Kid. And then next up, we got more Mickie James.
Hardcore country. How was time?
And Deonna Purrazzo fighting, it was a big pull apart between these two. They're going to fight at Hard to Kill. So basically these ladies are going to fight and basically go at each other all the way until Hard to Kill, which is in January. So, but they add more to it. Now it's going to be none other than a Texas death match.
How come the death match is always in Texas?
Because that's where they were born.
Don't get me wrong. I'm flattered. Right.
Sure.
You want to use my home state for the most violent of matches, but
right.
I was
flattered.
I think it's a Texas death match.
Would a Connecticut death match just not get the right?
Well, you wouldn't be able to use a bull rope. That's why you can only use a bull rope. In a
Rhode Island death match.
Rhode Island death match.
Yeah.
You're throwing fish at each other.
Yeah, because a Massachusetts death match doesn't sound
Massachusetts
right.
massacre, a massacre.
All right, so funny. Right after that, they say that this is funny, Primo. You like
American Samoa death match?
Right after they decide that it's going to be a Texas death match, Mickie turns around and tells Deonna Purrazzo, "Welcome to hardcore country."
There you go.
Yes.
There you go, Mickie.
So we get to our main event. This main event is the contract signing between Matt Cardona, a.k.a. Zack Ryder, with Chelsea Green, and Morrissey and Moose. This is the three-way contract signing for Hard to Kill. Morrissey basically signs the contract and leaves. And then Moose asked Chelsea Green if she will stay with Mid Cardona after he loses, or if she will leave him like the whore she is.
Ooh.
What? That's not okay.
What?
Yeah, he called her a whore. That's not cool.
Treating her like Francine.
So obviously, shit hits the fan. Matt and Moose, fight each other. Moose puts Cardona through a table. Moose continues his onslaught. Cardona ends up getting back up, swings a chair at Moose. He ducks and hits Chelsea with a pretty nice shot. And so we got Matt Cardona giving his wife a chair shot there. And he accidentally hits Chelsea with it instead, and the show goes off. Chelsea's laid out, Matt standing over her, Adrian. No, just kidding. But you know what I mean?
Yeah,
kind of like
so
that.
awesome.
But
he said, "Baby, that was so hot."
Yeah, so they're just adding steam to this, three-way that they got coming up. That was basically the gist of Impact Wrestling. But I will say this, man. Impact's getting good, man. If you're not watching Impact Wrestling, now's a pretty good time to jump on because they got some decent storylines going on. Yes, there's some of it that's cheesy, but
so you're saying don't sleep on Impact.
I'm saying don't sleep on Impact. At least this main event storyline is pretty decent, and I think Hard to Kill is going to be like worth watching because I think there's going to be some surprises there.
I mean, if you want to take a nap, there's 3 hours every Monday night. You can do that.
I was going to say Impact has been far better than anything WWE has done in months.
So that was Impact Wrestling last week. Primo is going to bring us what happened in WWE last week, and SmackDown was in Chicago. Best wrestling town in the world.
It was in Chicago.
Best in the world.
Best in the world.
Best in the world.
I have a confessions to make. Confessions? Just one confession.
One.
I could not bring myself to watch this episode of SmackDown.
You missed a good one. This was good.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it right here. So, smacking it down. It's literally the only thing I'm going to talk about. Tribal Chief comes to the ring flanked by the rest of the Bloodline. What are we, Dirty? We the ones, baby.
We the ones.
He tells his cousins that they know that he doesn't like when they lose. If you didn't know, he wasn't here last week. He was doing what champions do and taking a vacay. Right, AJ?
Yeah, it was great. It was like me and Roman. Just being like, we're going to fuck off for a week. You guys figure it out.
So, yeah. He tells his cousins that they know he doesn't like when they lose, but they know that, and they're blood, and they can all get through anything. It don't matter. But you, he looks at Paul Heyman, he says, but you, Paul Heyman, you're not my blood, and you should know better than anybody that I don't like to, I can't have anybody disrespecting me, because to disrespect me is to disrespect the whole family. He asked Paul Heyman if he could trust him. He said, just because he wasn't there last week, he still knows what happened. Rowan, then he starts asking Paul if he has known about everything. He's like, did you know Brock was going to show up at SummerSlam? Did you know he was going to be, when his suspension was going to be lifted? All that stuff. He gives him the whole gauntlet of questions. And then the crowd starts chanting, and they get the cut. They go, "You screwed up. You screwed up." And Roman goes, "You're damn right he screwed up."
Damn right he screwed up.
Finally, he says the most important question is, are you a special counsel or are you an advocate? To this question and the events transpiring at that moment, Paul Heyman looks severely stressed out. He tells Roman that he's not protecting Brock from Roman. Rather, he's protecting Roman from Brock Lesnar. The Usos get hyped. They're like, oh, you going to let him talk to you like that, Roman?
Like, no, you didn't. Yeah, they were hyped. His
cousins are in the back like, hype men for Roman, basically. They begin to chirp to at Paul Heyman. And like a mob boss, Roman pulls in Paul Heyman for a hug.
Yep.
He says, "Wise man, I love you. Thank you for 40 years of service to my family, but you're fired." And he fires Paul Heyman right there on the spot. He goes to walk out. As he goes to walk out, he turns, Superman punches Paul Heyman right in the face, drops Paul Heyman. At that moment, Roman asks for a chair because he wants to set Paul up for a concerto, which is kind of funny. everybody's doing the concerto now.
Sure.
Only Edge and Christian used to do it back in the day.
Yep, that was it.
Yeah.
So
That's where it came from.
Exactly. And then right as he's getting set up for the concerto, out comes the beast, Brock Lesnar.
Dun, 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 dun.
He comes out looking like a pissed off dude in his overalls.
I like that juxtaposition.
His
Pissed off dude in
ponytail,
his
his overalls, his beard. The bloodline looks ready to pounce, but then Brock literally runs through the Usos. Like, the Usos are coming at him, and he doesn't stop. He just, like, bulldozes them down, gets in the ring. He eats a couple chair shots, but powers through it and is able to give Roman 2 F5s before the show goes off the air.
Okay, that does sound pretty good. I'm sorry that I missed that now.
Just that segment, though.
Yeah.
This was really hot. The only thing I had for the rest of the show was Pat McAfee is really making some of these bad matches kind of funny and watchable, and it was kind of funny. Somebody did a atomic drop on Shotzi, and he goes, "Oh, right in the caboose," you know what I mean? Because she's kind of older, but so I thought that was funny. The Happy Cord and Madcap Moss gimmick was like just awful, you know what I mean? Just like funny because it's that bad, you know what I mean? But another thing been meaning to ask you guys for a while: do y'all like the computer generated entrance stuff like they're doing with Cesaro and Xia Li, and Charlotte lately with the things floating up? Like
Becky Lynch, whenever it's like big time Bex with her with the glasses.
Yeah.
No,
or Roman's big.
I like certain people's.
Yeah.
I like Roman's. I like Randy Orton's with the Viper. I don't like too many others.
Yeah.
I actually don't like any of them. I think they're cheesy as fuck. And I just like, especially the Roman one where he's just like a big cartoon Roman being like,
I like how he starts and he's like,
yeah.
Right, yeah, I know, right, yeah. When the music
it looks
drops.
like a VeggieTales animation. Like that's how like cheap it looks to me. Like it looks like someone who animated the VeggieTales did Roman Reigns going. I don't like it.
I think we're all in agreement though. We all like this Brock Lesnar. This Brock is fun, and
I happen to really enjoy this Brock Lesnar.
And go ahead.
As do I.
I was going to say, as much as him and Paul Heyman are such an unstoppable force. I mean, he's an unstoppable force by himself, but
sure,
I am kind of going to miss Brock speaking on his own because he was so funny.
He was, and it kind of makes me sad that now he still might. Yeah. Also, I also really like this iteration of Brock Lesnar. You want to know when I'm going to stop liking this iteration of Brock Lesnar? When he wins the Royal Rumble. Which I have a bad feeling that he's going to.
Rumble?
Last thing I want to say about this is, this was a great ending to SmackDown. This gets me a little more hyped for what's coming. You know what I mean? But we finally see this is kind of like the first real kink in the armor of the bloodline. This is the first time we've seen them getting destroyed. They've been doing the destroying, so that's why I'm interested in it. I think this is going to be pretty dope moving on. So, anything else for SmackDown, boys?
That's SmackDown. Moving on to Raw. So I just got some quick notes here. In that 3-hour show, let's just get to it.
They were in Milwaukee.
Yeah, they were in Milwaukee. Omos turned on AJ Styles. Finally, breaking up the duo and tells AJ next time he sees him, it will be in a match. Also, during this time, as AJ's getting obliterated, commentators Byron and whoever he talks to are talking about how AJ will also be at NXT the following night.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Tells Austin Theory that he enjoys firing people, especially before the holidays.
Right.
Why?
That was a little bit of a low blow. Kind of a bad thing to say right now, right?
Yep.
But
enough with the fucking heel authority. I'm so fucking bored.
Right.
With that.
The Cutting Edge returns. Edge has on his guest Maurice, where she seemingly airs out her grievances of married life with the Miz, but it all turns out to be fake as Miz and Maurice end this segment with a skull-crushing finale on Edge.
I wrote for this, airing of grievances, is she celebrating Festivus?
And then finally, Rollins and KO work on trying to eliminate the almighty Bobby Lashley from the day one matchup, but only end up having to fight against the team of Bobby and Big E in the main event. Bobby Lashley and Big E are victorious. However, Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens unleash an assault after the match, taking them out as the show goes off the air.
Is Bobby Lashley face turning?
I don't know. I feel like we're going to see. I don't know, man.
Seems very
facey. Like we're going back
of
to
him
the hurt
lately.
business, like a face hurt business, maybe this time.
I just feel like right now Bobby Lashley is just like he's Bobby Lashley. Like he's not like face or heel. He's just like doing his thing. If you get his way, he's gonna beat your ass.
What do y'all think if they kept him like that?
What do y'all think they're gonna do with Almost now? I hope nothing, but what do y'all think?
I certainly hope that whatever he does with AJ isn't lengthy, that AJ can get over it in time to win the Rumble. And
it's going to be lengthy.
I certainly hope he doesn't get any spot like
in the Rumble or on a pay-per-view.
Almost isn't going to be in the Rumble, of course. He's too big not to be. They can let
That'll be a spot where they work together and get him out.
Yeah.
I think the feud will be blown off on the day one pre-show. That's my guess for when this ends.
They put AJ on the pre-show. They needed him to bring in paying viewers.
I mean, they've been putting the IC belt on the pre-show for like months now. So why not AJ on the pre-show? My boy, it makes me sad.
Anything else for Raw there?
No, sir. That's it. That's Monday Night Raw. That 3 hours of nap time. NXT was the next night. We had the NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa invite Braun Breaker to the ring. Ciampa basically tells Braun that he could. The whole crowd's barking now. He tells Braun that he can have his second chance at the title in 2 weeks at New Year's Evil. But he says Braun still isn't ready and is too inexperienced for the big show. And I mean the Big Show New Year's Evil, not the Big Show.
The Big Show.
Paul White.
Right.
Then
Braun.
Not the way.
Sorry. There it is. Thank you.
Then Braun military presses Ciampa and embarrasses him before saying his time will be up at New Year's Evil. And then he says, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." But he goes to military press him and he just holds him there and just puts him down because Ciampa's like, "Let me down!" like freaking out. He basically embarrasses him. Next up, we have the reason for AJ being around, Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller shot an Instagram video talking smack about AJ Styles and says he is going to start calling himself the phenomenal Grayson Waller. Later, Grayson Waller is in the ring. I apologize to all of our Australian listeners. I know it's terrible.
Grayson Waller.
Later, Grayson Waller is in the ring giving a promo when the real phenomenal one arrives on NXT. It's good to see this is my own personal note, but it's good to see AJ Styles as a face again.
Yeah, I love face AJ Styles. He's
me
my
too.
favorite.
AJ calls out Grayson for wearing the gloves and one elbow pad, just like AJ.
Just like him, yeah.
And since the jury's still out on him being a real WWE superstar, tells Grayson, you've got a good, he said, you got a good 3 weeks in you, and you think you're already a superstar? Try being phenomenal for 20 plus years.
That's a good point.
Grayson bitches out and avoids altercation with AJ. And that's basically all the cool stuff that happened on NXT.
Yeah, it was. Is Brian Kendrick coming back?
Yes.
What's that look like?
Against Harlan.
Yeah.
Brian Kendrick, he did announce, I don't know if it was actually on the show or later on, he announced he resigned from being a coach, and he's going to come, and if Harlan wants an apology, then he will have to pull it from Brian Kendrick.
Why did he stop to begin with? I like Brian Kendrick.
He was on 205 Live for a while there.
Yeah, but then he just kind of went away.
He just got bored.
Weirdo.
Trainer.
But I do have a question here. Because obviously with AJ Styles showing up, and then we had Matt Riddle doing the MSK segment. Do you think the NXT views are down so bad right now that they're bringing in star power so people tune in.
Yep.
Yeah.
No one,
I mean, that made no sense for him to be there talking to Grayson Waller. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
But the new iteration of NXT has gone over so poorly, and this is just according to like various things that I've read, that it's gone so poorly that, you know, we've already talked about them rebranding again. That it's just, they're doing whatever they can to stop hemorrhaging viewers at this point, which they should be hemorrhaging viewers because the new NXT is garbage. It's full of taint and gooch. Merry Goochmas, NXT.
Definitely. All right. Well, that is the weekly recap. We just brought you everything from AEW, Impact, the Indies, all the way to NXT. And that will be the end of our recap here. So heading on to the next segment.
This is Big Beef, and you're tuned in to Sit Down Marks with AJ, Dirty Bird, and you know him, Primo. Check it out.
Well,
is that you, AJ?
What?
I'm sorry, Dirty, but is there when you hear he says Primo, somebody's
Yeah.
Probably is AJ. So you can hear the mat in the background. We are outside of St. Louis Anarchy there. You hear the mat going. So thank you, B, for bringing us in here. All right, boys, it is Dropkick discussion time. This week we have the lovely pay-per-view of ECW 2006 December to Dismember. I think this is the one we would rather not remember. But we're going to break it down here for you. So all month long here, we have been breaking down ECW pay-per-view. So today, this one is 2006 because we picked this one is the last ECW pay-per-view under the December to Dismember moniker. As it was retired after this one. So let me give you some notes here before we get started into what's going on in the actual pay-per-view. So this one was filmed, this one happened December the 3rd, 2006. It was called ECW December to Dismember. There was about 4,800 people there live. They generated about 90,000 estimated pay-per-view buys. This one was held in Augusta, Georgia, which is known for golf, not ever for wrestling. So kind of funny that they had one here, but it was at the James Brown Arena.
Yeah, they showed the sign.
Yeah.
Like the pan out of the arena. I was just like, man, that looks kind of dingy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like not a thing.
Yeah, it was very
like a bingo hall.
Yeah, really small, probably kind of like our arena here, AJ, close. It was kind of about that same size. But like I said, this was the final pay-per-view under the WWE version of ECW. This one had mostly ECW wrestlers in it, but also had others too from other brands as they were trying to kind of generate some Christmas pay-per-view here and get some eyes on the product. So the original event was held in 1995, but WWE took over the ECW assets in 2003, and they ended up launching their own brand in ECW in 2006. So this was still fairly new for WWE taking over ECW. But this was actually coming off of Survivor Series, where Batista had beat King Booker to be the new WWE World Champion. And so that's where we were. But this pay-per-view, boys, it was never or it was often hailed as the worst ECW pay-per-view ever. It had one of the lowest buy rates in WWE history up to that point, up until the WWE Network, which came out in 2014. Your commentators were Taz and Joey Styles, obviously. Big Show is your ECW champion coming into this pay-per-view. Your dark match is Stevie Richards versus a guy me and Primo just talked about, Rene Dupree, the old French tickler.
Oh,
yeah.
the Bon Vivant guy.
Yeah, he was.
Bon Vivant.
Before Primo brings us into this first match here, Eminem versus Team Extreme, a la the Hardy Boys. Let the bodies hit the floor is the moniker. What do you guys got for notes here before the first match?
Go ahead, AJ.
So Taz, first of all, has the tiniest sunglasses in the history of sunglasses. He looks like he pulled them off of like a doll.
He's like competing with Morpheus.
Yes, like they're like kid sunglasses.
Yeah.
Already I'm like, this is gonna be not good. And then when like they only announced 2 matches for this pay-per-view, one of which was not even an ECW match, and the other one was the main event.
Yeah, a lot of things went on before like the first bell. Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
That's mainly all. Like before the match, I had Taz needs bigger sunglasses.
Yeah,
that's what I put.
For me, I just wrote right away. Due to it being a WWE production, it is 1,000 times better, the production aspect of it, because it's being produced by WWE and not ECW.
Oh, it's not even an ECW show. It's a WWE. Like, there's nothing
WWE
ECW
show
about
with
it.
ECW brand, like, WWE branded ECW things.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And I said I also love their Playing Bodies by Drowning Pool. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was dope.
And that was years after that song came out. So it's kind of like...
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was like their intro music, if I remember there for a while. So, yeah,
so going in the first match, immediately after I hear Eminem's music, I got excited because I realized I get to see Melina's entrance.
Man, she was looking good, too.
One of the best entrances ever.
Eminem being, of course, Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro, which is one of the first Johnny iterations.
It was.
Joey
Out
Mercury.
comes my favorite tag team of all time, the Hardy Boys, Team Extreme. I said this period sticks out to me a lot because this is for me the Jeff Hardy with braids era, and also right after Jeff came back from TNA. So during this time specifically, Taz and Joey Styles sound completely lost on commentary.
They do. Yep.
They did.
It's like they don't even care.
There was no. It's almost like there was silence in their ears. Like nobody was telling them what to say, and they didn't have a direction.
Yeah. There was like quiet time a lot. Like it was weird. Yeah.
It's almost like the people in Gorilla or whoever is in the TV truck or whoever talks to them in their ears was just like wanting it to fail. They weren't telling them shit to say.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's like Vince was like, okay, this is going to be my fuck you to ECW.
Right.
Just go out there and it's going to bomb and.
Yeah.
Right.
So I believe this is also right before Joey Mercury got his face destroyed.
Yeah.
It looks like his face was already destroyed. He is looking rough.
I think it was like the next pay-per-view is whenever they did that ladder spot where the face hits him or the ladder hits him in the face.
Ugh.
But in this specific match, the spot where Matt jumps to the outside and Mercury grabbed him and Matt turns and he lands flat on his back looked very painful to me.
Mm-hmm.
Melina is very pretty but extremely annoying.
Yes,
that squeal. It's the squeal.
Oh my god.
Yeah, God, I forgot about that.
I was like, I'm about to put you up there with Bill Alfonso.
So I have a question about that scream. So is she meant to be like Melina, like the Mortal Kombat character?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because
I don't know.
Got me. That's too deep.
That's a good question.
Melina doesn't do the scream though. In the game, it's the other lady whose name I can't remember.
But I see what you're going with, but I don't know. I don't know. But that was quite annoying. So Eminem has a lot of innovative tag team offense. Like they were a great tag team.
Sure.
And they were a great rivalry for the Hardy Boys too.
Absolutely.
Not just in this match, but moving forward. I've always been a big fan of Matt Hardy's Side Effect. And to end this match, we got a Swanton Bomb on a stacked up Eminem, which was Nitro and Mercury stacked on top of each other. Swanton, Hardy Boys victory, 1, 2, 3. What you guys got?
Go ahead, AJ.
Well, I have a few things written about this match. This was the opener is meant to pop the crowd.
Sure.
No crowds were popped. I hate fuzzy boots unless Tyler Breeze is wearing them.
They did it before Tyler, though.
They did do it.
I know, but Tyler Breeze perfected it. Johnny Nitro is so fucking awesome. Yes, but Johnny Nitro's awesome. Joey Mercury is desperate looking.
This is before Johnny Nitro went slow motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like the baggy pants on Team Extreme. I don't like them on Rey Mysterio. I just think they make people look like children wearing adult clothing.
They still have like a specific website they shop for those pants.
That's oh my god!
I heard Jeff Hardy talk about that once.
That's atrocious. Also, did you guys see the bump that Melina took when she got hit by, I think, Johnny Nitro and she fell onto the floor?
Yeah, the drop kick. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought she destroyed her arm. Like, it looked like it shattered the way she landed.
Right.
I was actually like, ooh.
Yeah. Right.
But overall, this match was fine. I like the Hardys. I like Johnny Nitro. It was way too long though. It was like 20 fucking minutes long. It's like I realized they're desperate to fill time, but 20 minutes is way too much.
This is before I was smart to the business and smart to independent wrestling. 06, so I was like 16, 17 years old. I was just like still just loving it.
Yeah.
And I remember Johnny Nitro being Eric Bischoff's like assistant, and then one day he was in a tag team.
Right. But he was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
My only
also,
notes for this one. Go ahead.
Jeff Hardy misses a lot of things. Did you guys see? Like, he at one point he goes for like a drop kick and he misses completely. Another time he goes for like a flying clothesline, misses completely. Like, what are you doing, Jeff?
He's trying to live up to Sabu since he got injured.
My only notes for this one was both the entrances were like awesome. Eminem had such a good song, man. It just fit. I love the gimmick, the red carpet rollout, the paparazzi, that whole thing, man. It was cool. Kind of a different, gimmick there. So, but yeah, the double bomb Swanton was really cool. A great match, man, by two great tag teams. Honestly, this was my favorite match of the night, or favorite match of the pay-per-view to me.
By far, match of the night, and it was just okay.
Yep.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, they as both those teams together had better matches. Just this one of that night was good.
Yep.
Right after this, I have because RVD had a little talking segment after this, talking about his match coming up tonight, and I just put WWE RVD is so much different than ECW RVD.
Yeah.
Very.
WWE RVD sucks.
Right.
He's like, when you think of ECW, think Rob Van Dam.
He's like, I got the cuffs on, boys. WWE won't let me do shit.
Right.
All right, so moving on. We had the next match which was Matt Striker versus Balls Mahoney.
Balls.
I said here immediately that I never realized that they played up the real life story of Matt Striker getting fired. Like I knew obviously he came in, his gimmick was a teacher, but I didn't know they were like, he used to be a New York teacher and he was fired.
Yeah.
But he comes out, Striker gets on the mic and he starts talking. Striker's face when he says, I have to fight again that guy named Balls Mahoney, and he looks at him disgusted.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. After watching Matt Striker for 5 seconds, I am convinced that I see a lot of resemblance in the current Joe Gacy character.
Mm-hmm. A lot of it.
Okay, I didn't see that. You're right, though.
Oh, yeah, I thought that immediately.
Stryker says his match will be contested under... I thought this was kind of funny.
I loved this.
This match will be contested under extreme rules. That is, an extreme enforcement of the rules.
Right.
And those rules are no gouging of the eyes, no hair pulling, no top rope maneuvers, and no foul language.
Most importantly, no foul language.
Yeah.
Except the reiteration of the name Balls.
Right. I swear Balls, his name was that just to give everybody an excuse to say Balls.
Absolutely it was.
All I have after this was Matt Striker has his face right over his ass crack. And
I'll get into that too.
Also, Matt Striker broke the rules and still wasn't able to pick up the victory over Balls Mahoney. And that's all I got for that match, really.
So, for this match, I wrote Matt Striker versus Balls Mahoney. Balls Mahoney. What? Mahoney? There we go.
Balls Mahoney.
But what the fuck is a Balls Mahoney? Like, But I love Matt Stryker. His promo at the beginning was by far my favorite part of the entire pay-per-view. It was just great to listen to him give out about the rules. But this match is utterly useless. Matt Stryker, one, has his face on his ass and has just a giant wedgie the entire match. Also, guess what? No cup. There's little Matt Stryker's doodle.
Yeah. He's out there like Das Wonder Kid.
Yes.
And they allude to that too, like his butt being up his crack and like his
it's like his trunks are like one size too tight.
Yeah.
Yes. And it was like an Argyle doodle the entire fucking match. Balls punches, why was Balls Mahoney on a pay-per-view? Like, this was desperate. It was awful.
Because Balls is
so much.
I'll tell you why, because Balls is an ECW legend that, he probably got the biggest pop of the night. I don't know if you guys pay attention to that or not, but
I don't know if that's saying much.
Him and Sam,
I know, that's what I'm saying, but it's not saying much, but he probably, but he probably did. And if this was like the last December to Dismember, they kind of had to have him there.
That is one thing I didn't write down. I forgot to write down. But after the match, Sandman does come out. And wait, I thought I did write that.
No, that's after
that's
Mike Knox match.
Sorry,
that's way later.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I had was Balls, the ECW legend, and I met Matt Stryker once. He came into the restaurant I was working at. Really cool dude.
That's awesome. I would love to meet
like
Matt
a cool
Stryker.
dude. He seems hilarious.
I liked him a lot when he was on commentary until he got completely fucked over and told to basically sandbag all of his shit. So then he turned into a moron, basically. But I thought he was great.
Wait, he was
when
good,
he
and also he was commentary on Lucha Underground too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was.
And he was great. Yep. I like Matt Stryker.
All right. Anything else there before we get rolling? Keep rolling?
No, sir. Those are my two matches.
All right. Well, let's get to the mid card here. I'm gonna take over some of the shit and the meat here in the middle of this pay-per-view. So, third match was Elijah Burke versus Sylvester Turkai, who I remember Sylvester Turkai. They kind of thought he was going to be kind of one of the next big things. Turned out not. But anyway, they wrestled Little Guido and Mma Luck with Trinity. Funny, though, they come out to bullshit chants, the crowd chanting bullshit, because previously before that, they showed Sabu being laid out backstage, and that's how they were going to play him out of this Elimination Chamber match as he was attacked backstage. Yeah, he's basically laying there with his eyes closed, camera right in his face.
And what's funny is they grab the neck brace, and then they never put it on him. And then they
go, Yeah. Rumor is they didn't want Sabu in this in the main event, so this is how they were going to play him out. And
why?
Holly, I don't know. From what I read in depth, the only thing I say is WWE wasn't happy with him because he was going through a little bit of a rough time, like he's been chronicled to have before. So, but anyway, so. Burke and Turkai come out to bullshit chants right off the bat. Crowd's not happy about seeing Sabu down in the back. But this match was a pretty good back and forth match. Turkai was very raw. Elijah was great on the mic and in the ring. Yeah, very solid and smooth, man. One of the guys I never really kind of paid attention to a while back, but he looked really good here. But Elijah gets a forward Russian leg sweep on Mma Luck for the pin. Sylvester Turkai comes in to do a muscle buster post-match, and the crowd starts chanting TNA because of Samoa Joe doing the move. So they come out to bullshit chants, and then at the end of the match, they're getting TNA chants. But these guys in this match, man, they had no shot. With the way it was laid out, the horse crap. That it was. You guys got anything on this third match here?
Yeah, I do. All I have is I have one line. All I said was, I don't know who Sylvester Turkai is, but that's the Pope.
That's the Pope. That's the Pope, Elijah Burke.
What I have is, first of all, I didn't write this down, but this is what I was doing during the match just to entertain myself. I kept calling him Turkey instead of Turkai, and then I would do my grandma voice just to like I was calling the match in my grandma voice and then giggling about it Like, Turkey hits a
You're
clothesline.
entertaining yourself since the show wasn't doing it.
Yes. Also, the only thing that I wrote down was Turkai looks like. Have you guys seen Tango and Cash?
Long time ago, but yes.
So you know the guy who gets electrocuted on top of the prison with the gigantic chin. I can't think of his name. Anyways, look him up. He looks like the guy from Tango and Cash. Okay. Also, the crowd chants, "Change the channel." That's all. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, next match was Daivari with Khali. If that wasn't enough to make you change the channel, here comes Khali.
For fuck's fucking
sake.
Versus Tommy Dreamer, the innovator of violence. Right off the bat, Khali gets tossed from the ringside early. This was a basic match, really, as Daivari wins with a roll-up, just a crappy, terrible finish. Of course, Tommy Dreamer loses. Khali comes back out to destroy Tommy. He gets a hard choke bomb on the entrance ramp on a pretty tough spot there from Khali, so he takes that one. But, yeah, typical, just as Dreamer starts to get his shit in, and win the match, he loses on a roll-up, and Dreamer gets up after the big choke bomb from Khali and heads to the back. And he got the crowd to wake up and clap as he went to the back. So what do you guys got for this horse shit of a...
Yeah, I had... So originally, when this match ended, I said, I got nothing for this match between Daivari and Dreamer. And then as it went a little further, I just put, the great Khali hit Dreamer with a Hall of Fame worthy slam after the match is done.
Yep, sure did.
That right there was enough for the Hall of Fame.
For no reason whatsoever. And also, so this quote of Tommy Dreamer has become part of lore in my family. My brother and I quote it all the time. Like whenever we'll hurt ourselves in some way, like bonk our elbow or something, we'll just be like, I can't feel my feet. Because that is exactly what Tommy Dreamer says after he takes that fucking choke bomb or whatever. He's like laying there and he's just like, I can't feel my feet. Which you clearly can.
Right.
So if nothing else, that quote came out of this pay-per-view. So I will always have a nice fond spot in my guts for it.
All right.
But the match was useless. Tommy Dreamer's useless.
Yes,
Davari's not useless.
Right in your guts.
You're right your belly welly.
Co-main event, last match right before we get to the main event was Mike Knox with Kelly Kelly. Co-main event.
Kelly.
Mike Knox and Kelly Kelly versus Kevin Thorne and Ariel. We know Kevin Thorne as the vampire gimmick with Ariel there. We got to see a lot of Ariel's butt here. But as we got started, Kelly wishes CM Punk good luck on the match, on the microphone before the match, as she's kind of playing they're doing a storyline crush on CM Punk, and that's making Mike Knox jealous, which comes back towards the end of the match. But yeah, cool entrance by Thorne and Ariel. It's kind of cool and different, although they stopped to look at each other and lick. They probably could have shortened it a little bit, but I kind of thought it was good. And I've talked to Kevin Thorne a lot of times. He is a realtor now in Indiana and a really cool guy. So look him up if you need a house in Indiana. Yep. But
that's $10.
$10.
But yeah, so the men kind of got a little more stiff than the girls in this match. The girls definitely got their stuff in, but mainly was seeing a lot of Ariel's ass. But towards the end of the match, Mike Knox abandons Kelly, so Ariel gets a leg sweep on her for the pin, and she attacks Kelly post match as Kevin Thorne is kind of stomping around the ring, and then we get, obviously we can't have an ECW pay-per-view without the entrance of the one and only Sandman. He's only drinking. I guess he can't smoke in Augusta, Georgia arena, so he's only smoking this one. He comes out, beer and kendo stick in hand. He whacks Thorne quite a few times, and then he hits him more, and then hits him a little bit more again, and he eventually retreats, but Sandman follows and salutes to the crowd. Kane in the air, high in the sky. as that's how this match ends. Sandman entrance never gets old to me, especially since, you guys, I've been a part of it once. So this was kind of cool to me. Next to the Eminem Hardy match, this was probably the next best thing. I was kind of,
oh my God,
just because I've talked to Kevin a few times and, and then I kind of forgot about Ariel and her little gimmick stuff she did. But yeah, this was a little different here. But what do you guys have for this match, man?
I laughed at the bubbly Kelly and pissed off Mike Knox.
Yeah.
And then I said, Kelly wished CM Punk good luck, but I don't remember that angle at all. Then I said, I like how at the end when Sandman was coming out, I like how the cameraman didn't know where to look when Sandman appeared.
Yeah.
Well,
they did searching.
They did that a lot. That was kind of part of, it was kind of like, where is he? Where is he? Like, where's he coming from? Yeah, I think they might have did that with the Shield a little bit, some too, maybe. I don't know, but I feel like the camera moved a lot. Like, that's what but AJ, you got anything for this before we get to your main event, sir?
So, first of all, Kelly. I fucking love Kelly. Useless in the ring.
Holla.
Also, so this has always made me like, his name is Kevin, and he's supposed to be like a fucking vampire. Kevin, like, give him a vampire name. What are you doing?
Right.
Kevin
the vampire Thorne.
It's like him coming out and being like, and up next, the creature of the night, Steve Thorne. It's like, what are you doing?
Right, yeah. Like he has a regular name. Here's William.
God. William Thorne.
William Thorne, yes.
Also, the cameraman loves Ariel's butt.
Yep,
loves it.
For sure.
This was another dreadful match. However, Sandman looked 10 times better than he did 12 years ago. Sure. He looked in amazing shape. He looked like he wasn't, on the verge of passing out just by standing there. So the best part of this match, apart from Kelly, was Sandman not looking like a drunken hobo, which was very nice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel like that whole angle with Punk didn't last very long. I think it was just a way to get her away from Knox.
Which Mike Knox is terrible. I hate Mike Knox.
Yep. All right, main event time here.
So, first of all, hey, wait a minute. Where's my little Kurt Angle guy? I just noticed that.
You don't get no Kurt Angle guy.
Oh yeah, he's hiding.
Boo.
I'll bring him up while you talk about him.
Yeah.
He's like elf on a shelf. He's hiding.
It's okay.
Kurt in a shirt.
You don't need a
Kurt in a shirt.
Just a sexy Kurt. Make your ankle
I'm not no blurt, Kurt. So really fast, we have a recap of Bobby Lashley getting beat down. And, by the way, Bob Holly, hardcore Bob Holly, is in the main event. He gave a promo earlier where he said maybe 5 words. It lasted like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was like, I get that. I like that. That's good. It's like, what are you doing?
Sparky Plug wasn't much of a promo.
Yeah.
He's
so just awful. An ass kicker.
And I know you said that, DB, you said that I have to hate someone each time.
Yeah,
this
who
time
is
it's Bob Holly.
It's Bob
Holly. I've always hated Bob Holly. He's a bully piece of shit, and he hurts people as in like, oh, it's hazing, and I'm gonna concuss all these new guys and break their ribs and fuck you.
Yeah, he wanted to hurt everybody the hard way, like give them the initiation. He was one of those guys.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. So, first there's before the main event, which by the way, it is an eternity between the Sandman leaving and the main event starting.
Yeah.
So we have that recap. We have a promo with Paul Heyman, which this is one of the saddest Paul Heyman promos I've ever heard because he shits on old ECW.
Right.
And he puts over like the new guys and how like Big Show is like the face of ECW. That is horrendous. I just wrote ouch. Like after that.
And it's
how dare you?
Not only Big Show, but he's Big Show.
Yeah, he's big fucking blurst out of his mind Big Show. So yeah, after a fucking eternity, they do the cage lowering thing, and that takes for fucking ever. And finally, so the gimmick of this elimination chamber is each pod comes with its own weapon as well as a wrestler in it. Sure, we have the ECW,
the normal
champion.
part, a wrestler.
Yeah, as a weapon and a wrestler guy. We have ECW champ. Let me repeat that. ECW champion Big Show. The epitome of ECW, hardcore, anti-establishment, extreme wrestling Big Show.
Yes.
He encapsulates all of it.
The guy who's been, now, granted, I do enjoy and like some Big Show.
I do too.
He's a legend.
He
does. When I think Big Show, I don't think ECW.
No, I don't think. Oh yeah, no rules, blood matches.
Right. I don't think the guy that's been in 3 different professional wrestling major promotions.
Crazy spots. No, it's fucking Big Show. So in his pod I believe he had the barbed wire bat, which you of course can't use, so it's useless. We have CM Punk, who has a chair. Sure.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam, who had something that I don't remember right now.
Rob Van Dam started the match.
Oh, yes, he did. And then we have Bob Holly, who had
he started the match.
Also started the match.
Yeah. Yes. And then you have Bobby Lashley, who had a fucking table in his pod. So he was like crammed up against it.
It kept falling on him.
Yeah, it never made it out, did it?
And Test had the crowbar.
Yeah, Test had the crowbar. Big Show had the barbed wire bat.
Yeah.
Look at the desperation of this main event. You have Test and Bob Holly. Are you fucking kidding me? So, of course, Rob Van Dam and Rob Van Dam and Bob Holly kick off everything. There's a nice Spider-Man spot by Rob Van Dam, but then he misses a splash. RVD misses the dropkick by a mile, and Bob Holly sells it anyways. It's like that is the epitome of this pay-per-view right now. Right. So up next we have CM Punk out, which at this point in the company, Rob Van Dam and CM Punk are the 2 biggest faces in the company. I'm just going to move on for a second. Up next. So CM Punk is out next. Hit some cool spots. Punk and RVD played, and they're pissing blood all over the place. Test is out next, which I never minded. Test, he was fine. He's a good big guy.
Got all of his testicles.
Former Motley Crue bodyguard. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
I did not.
That was his job before wrestling. That was his job before wrestling. He used
Motley Crue bodyguard.
Yeah, he saw some shit, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He saw some.
He saw them pimp out Tommy Lee.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's out next, and then RVD hits Punk with the Van Daminator. Is that what it's called?
Yep.
And then a frog splash, and then pins him. RVD, one of your top baby faces, pins CM Punk, one of your other top baby faces, and CM Punk is the first one eliminated. At this point, if the crowd hadn't already turned on this match, it immediately turns on this match because then
that's who they wanted to win. I think mostly was Punk.
Well, it's the same year that he left ROH, so he just got to WWE.
Yeah. They wanted Punk or because Van Dam was like the underdog babyface favorite, and CM Punk was like the indie darling that the crowd wanted to see win. Yep, nope, CM Punk gone. So up next, Bob Holly beating useless Bob Holly. He kicks out after a test boot. But he wasn't supposed to kick out, apparently, because the ref counted him anyways. And then Bob Holly was like, stupid bucktooth fucking Bob Holly was like, who? And the ref was like, yeah, no, get the fuck out. Like, what are you doing? You're not in this match anymore.
You lost. Get out.
So this is the second time that I wrote fuck this match in like a span of 2 sentences. Up next, we have Test hitting. He hits an awesome elbow after climbing one of the pods. I think it was Big Show's pod. And he put a chair on RVD, and then he climbed up to the pod and hit this awesome-looking elbow. And then he pins RVD. So now you have CM Punk and RVD, your two top baby faces.
Yeah, but seeing where they were going with this, they got they got the good guys out of there early, so you know where it was going.
So the crowd was having none of this match, and I love how they kept cutting to like Big Show, who had like his face pressed against like the pod, so he looked like a kid making faces, and he was so blown up already. He hadn't done anything. He stood in a pod and he was wheezing and sweating buckets. And it's like, oh, this
he had to have been so stressed out. That pod with that big dude in that pod.
I know, just claustrophobia is taking over.
And he's constantly probably getting poked in the elbow by that stupid barbed wire bat.
Oh. So to further cement the expert booking of this match, after RVD gets eliminated, it's just Test. For 2 minutes, he just stands there like, yeah, here we go. Like, I'm just going to wait. So finally, Bobby Lashley makes his entrance. He uses the table to break like the top of the chain, and then he just leaves the table in there. Then we have Big Show coming out, and he's already just completely gassed. He's done nothing. And like he immediately gets his bat caught in the fucking, like, why have that as a weapon? Everyone knows that you can't really use it. So he gets his bat caught in the cage. So Bob Lashley fucks up his spear, like he misses it the first time around, and then he just does it again and pins the Big Show. The ECW stalwart and face of the company pins the Big Show for the ECW championship. Your new ECW champion, Bobby Lashley, who then after the match cuts the worst, blandest. This is before Bobby Lashley was awesome. Like, he was terrible. He was garbage. This match was garbage. I cannot say enough bad things about it. What did you guys think?
So I got, I didn't know. So starting off, I didn't know that because, Paul Heyman came out with his promo to begin. I didn't know that Paul Heyman's goons were the Basham brothers.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I looked that up because I was curious. I was like, who are these guys, in the right
Bashams.
here?
Yeah.
It's the Basham brothers. And then I said about the Big Show, because me and AJ discussed, during this time period, Big Show was Big Show.
Big, yeah.
He was hefty.
Yeah.
And so I said, that's a big man locked inside of that pod. Entrances took 13 minutes.
Wow.
Yes. But holy crap, entrances took 13 minutes. The Elimination Chamber debuted in 2002, and Taz is acting like it's the first time he's ever seen it. It's 2006.
Right? Yeah.
And I said, I like how everybody was eliminated before Big Show even made it out of his pod.
Right, yeah. He didn't have to touch anybody.
Right.
You can tell they were making him not do very much.
Right. He could tell, he was like almost getting the, like, I hate to say it because I like Big Show, but, almost, how when Yokozuna started getting bigger.
Yep. He didn't do as much.
Good to see. It's good that Big Show nowadays has obviously gotten fit and all that.
Right.
But anyway, back to the match. I said I like how everybody was eliminated before Big Show made it out of the pod, and then I also it's not an elimination chamber until somebody goes through the plexiglass.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Got to.
Yeah. And I just put the Almighty Bobby Lashley wins 15 years before he's the Almighty. And he goes on as the ECW champion to represent represent Donald Trump in the Battle of the Billionaires at WrestleMania.
That's right. Don't we have a clip there, Primo, about Donald Trump? I think
Donald Trump. Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Fucking atrocious.
My notes for this match was Punk looked young. Test
He looked very young.
Looked jacked. Yep. I like Taz on commentary. I thought he brought a little bit of style, not particularly this pay-per-view, but it made me remember when he was on commentary. I kind of liked his different, style.
Well,
but
piggyback on that. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, sure.
I know earlier I was giving him shit. I love Taz on commentary. I love him on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But this specific pay-per-view at the beginning they sounded lost.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, and this just made me remember when he was an announcer. So, it's kind of what kind of made me remember it. But I'm a Taz mark, so I kind of like him a lot and everything. But this pay-per-view, hilarious, scary. I almost thought it was going to be fun at times, and then got brought down really quick. So, couple last notes here, funny stuff. The sound when Lashley hit Big Show in the gut with the chair. sounded like when you're hitting like a piece of carpet on a mattress,
like a flop.
It was like whomp.
Yeah, and then there was about 100 people in the arena that was really into the main event, and the rest of them sat on their hands, I think, mostly for it. But
it was silent.
But a couple little quick notes here, guys. Past this pay-per-view, Big Show would take a break for a bit right after this, after being offered as up to $1 million a year, but he would decide to take a break. So he would take a little break and end up coming back later. Lashley would end up winning the ECW title again later on. And this show was scheduled again for 2007, December to Dismember is what I mean, but was then was officially canceled later on as allegedly Paul Heyman was sent home for creative reasons not long after this pay-per-view. So, all right, guys, closing thought.
Really quick. I have a story that I heard about this pay-per-view. Speaking of the Paul Heyman going home, the way I heard it from these guys, and they're pretty good about research. Paul Heyman, the day of the pay-per-view, I guess had the match booked totally different. Like he wanted Big Show out first, submitting to CM Punk. And Big Show was like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, because he was taking some time away after that. He's like, yeah, I'll put Punk over. That's great. And then RVD was booked to win the match initially. And Vince completely was like, nope, we're not doing that. We're doing it like this. Book it like this. So this is Vince's booking. And then after it was an absolute disaster, Vince blamed Paul Heyman, and that's why he sent him home for creative differences. He was like, oh, this is your fault. You're the one who booked us. Basically fired Paul Heyman. So fuck you, Vince, is the
and I read too that Hardcore Holly was Vince's idea too, because it was kind of his idea to get Sabu out, allegedly. So
I just couldn't wrap my mind around the fact that they just kept going on and on and on about the elimination chamber. It's 16 tons of steel, and dude, it's been around for 4 years at this point.
Right. Yeah. This is not the first elimination chamber.
All right, so that's going to put the Christmas bow on 2006, December to Dismember. Guys, next week we're coming back at you with our final ECW pay-per-view of the month. This one is the last pay-per-view under the ECW original moniker, 2001, Guilty as Charged. Go watch that one before we talk about it next week, and so you'll know everything going on in that we're talking about. So, yeah, next week is the final ECW pay-per-view of December.
ECW.
All right, boys. Finally, time here. We talked about it for a while. We teased it. Primo dropped it a while back here. Primo, bring us in here for our big Christmas episode interview. We've already told him, man, but who we got here?
Let me tell you, we will finally bring to you none other than Space Jesus herself, Billy Starks. Enjoy.
All right, that was our absolute fantastic interview with Billy Starks. I had a great time talking to her, guys. What'd you guys think about talking to Billy?
She was a whole lot of fun. Yeah,
she was.
Yeah, and I actually feel sorry for her that she had to put up with me and AJ.
All right, here's the rules of this game that we're going to play.
Right.
Now allow us to break these rules and completely confuse the shit out of you.
I tell you
she
what,
was
man,
a good sport.
She was. It was great to have her on the show. I was excited to have her as me and AJ both live in the Midwest. So we get to see Billy Starks wrestle a lot. But coming up here, as she talked about, she's got that big match coming up in January. Get your tickets to this show, St. Louis Anarchy. She's going to be wrestling Gary J for that Gateway Heritage title. And then also go check out her Cosmic Christmas card that she just put on IWTV that is on there right now. And thank you, Billy Starks, for being on the show. Go check her out.
Yes.
She's on a card in your area. Get to seeing her, man.
For sure. Thank you. We'd love to have you back sometime. It was a lot of fun. She was really easy to talk to. If you haven't seen her or gotten to see her yet, for sure, go check her out.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with those statements.
I second that motion.
Yes, indeed.
Right.
She was awesome.
She was.
Thank you so much for coming on, Billy. I didn't get a rump out of that guy.
All right. Next up, boys, it's time to play a little squared circle questions. You guys ready?
It's been a while since we got to play a game.
I believe I got smoked last time.
You do?
No, wait, no, I got smoked at music class. I guess
music class. I smoked you at music class. I can't remember who won last time, but it's all about who won.
I think I'm still the champ
each and every night. I think you are the champ. So, all right, let me give you a couple little rules about this week's session here. So, all right, the normal rules are we have 3 categories: wrestler, pay-per-view, and potpourri. Now, potpourri today is just trivia questions. Today's possible points are going to be 5. So I have 5 questions for you, 5 points. All the answers are affiliated with Christmas somehow, some way, or the questions are affiliated with Christmas somehow, some way. So I will read facts about each category, and the boys will only have one answer to holler out. And once they holler out their answer, that answer is their answer. And if both guys incorrectly guess, then we'll re-rack them and start back over here. So, all right, AJ, I think you are the champ here. So you want to start with wrestler, pay-per-view, or you want to go with the potpourri to start?
We're going to go with wrestler to begin with.
The one, what does that say, Primo?
It says, can you see it?
The one true champion.
The one true champion.
All right, boys.
Right now, you're looking at a double champ, Primo.
Okay.
Both
all right,
IC
boys.
and world champ.
All right, this particular category of wrestler is going to be a verbal answer. So you guys are going to be answering verbally for this one, okay? All right, so.
You make me want to shout.
Pay attention, guys. This one you could get really quickly here, so let's pay attention, all right? Now, I want real name here, okay? Real name of the wrestler. Real name. Here we go. This wrestler was born June the 7th, 1965 in Bloomington, Indiana. He debuted wrestling in 1983 and was billed at 6'2", 287 pounds. He was trained by Dominic DeNucci. He's basically worked for every wrestling company there's ever been. He is a legend and icon, and this man really loves Christmas. But he is billed from the boiler room. Mick Foley is the answer correctly. Let me finish out here. He is billed from the boiler room, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and he's also known as Dude Love and Cactus Jack. So, yes,
God damn it.
This man, Mick Foley, loves Christmas. So, Primo gets the first one on
I almost
the board.
said Mick Foley, too.
Actually, I got this for you.
Fuck you.
Correct answer. All right, let's go ahead and do pay-per-view here next, because potpourri is going to be all writing down. So another verbal answer here for you, boys. Pay-per-view. All right, so I'm going to give you the pay-per-view and all the facts, and once I'm done reading the whole card, then I want you guys to jump in. What I need you guys to tell me is what year this pay-per-view took place. Okay?
No, I got it. Okay.
So I'm gonna read everything. So I'm gonna read everything out to you first, and then you guys can get your brains to working. Here we go. This pay-per-view was held on December the 18th, Baltimore, Maryland. There was 9,000 people in attendance, and 179 people bought this pay-per-view. I'm sorry, 179,000 people.
Not a lot.
To say,
Not good.
Sheesh. This one sucked.
All right, here we go.
Not good.
Zack Ryder defeated Dolph Ziggler to win the United States title. Air Boom defeated previously mentioned Primo and Epico. RKO Randy by himself defeated Wade Barrett.
By himself.
Beth Phoenix defeated previously mentioned Kelly. Triple H defeated Big Sexy Kevin Nash. Sheamus defeated Jack Swagger. Holy shit, this card was big. Big Show defeated Mark Henry to win the World Championship title. Daniel Bryan cashed
2012.
in. That's wrong. Daniel Bryan cashed in on Big Show to win the World Heavyweight title. Cody retained the Intercontinental title against Booker. And then CM Punk retained the WWE title versus Alberto Del Rio. What
2013.
All right, you both get another shot. You're both incorrect.
2014.
What'd you say, Primo?
2011.
Correct. 2011 is correct.
2014, Punk was already gone.
2011 TLC pay-per-view in Baltimore, Maryland.
No!
Wait a minute, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah,
remember,
we
we
got
got
more.
5 possible points today.
Oh,
you got to
damn.
get one more to lock it in.
Turd.
One more lock it in. We're gonna play it. We're gonna play all 3 of these though, so y'all know where we so y'all can get all the questions here. So,
Or
all right,
so
boys.
I can get 3 of them right and come back.
You can get 3 of them right, come back and win. All right, guys, you got to write this one. You got to write this one down.
Okay.
All right, you ready? In 2013 on Monday Night Raw, 2 Santas went head-to-head in a match. Who were the 2 wrestlers dressed as Santa Claus?
What year?
2013. 2 Santa Clauses went head-to-head on Raw. Who were the 2 wrestlers dressed as Santa? I'll give you 10 seconds. All right. About 3 seconds left. You got to get both of them right to get the points.
How
Primo
about none
reveal.
of them right?
Primo reveal. What do you got? Who you got?
Can you see that?
No, just read it off.
It's I put we can't see it, but I put there it is.
R-Truth.
Oh shit.
Santino.
Yep.
That's incorrect.
Those are good guesses. Those are way better than
Those
my
are
guesses.
good guesses. AJ, what do you got?
I saw Jim Duggan in Big Show. I don't fucking know.
The correct answers are Mark Henry and Damian Sandow. That one was hard.
Damian Sandow.
Damian Sandow. All right, guys. Next question here. 2 to go. All right, listen up here. This one's pretty good. Prior to a match versus John Cena, what heel infamously ran over Santa Claus with his limousine? Now, this was during a feud with John Cena. What heel infamously ran over Santa Claus with his limo? All right,
Why can't I
reveal.
think of his actual name?
Primo says JBL. You said Junior Fatu?
Sure, why not?
You mean
for The Rock?
Those both are wrong.
What's his name?
The answer is no. Umaga?
No, it was fucking
No, Junior is a Rikishi, isn't it?
Rikishi. Thank you. Why
Fatu,
couldn't
yeah.
I think of his name?
Well, the answer was a
never
guy
fought John Cena.
I just mentioned. I thought you might pick up on it, but it was Alberto Del Rio. The crowd nearly booed him out of the building.
That fucker. Why did he even have a limo? I hate him.
All right. Well, Primo's going to win, but AJ, this one's another fun one here. I want to see if you can finish up strong. All right. Here we go, guys. This one, see if you guys know where this happened. On December the 22nd, 1997, Stone Cold Steve Austin famously stunned Santa Claus on Raw. What town were they in? Yeah, you can do verbal. Sure. Verbal. What town were they in?
Chicago.
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Worcester, Massachusetts. ladies and gentlemen.
And is that from our famous Stun Christmas?
It is. It's from that exact very T-shirt that we have up right now on TeePublic. Yep, that is where it all happened. So, Primo, your champion for the Christmas edition of Squared Circle Questions. Very good job there, my friend.
I relinquish my hobo belt, but
there you go.
Primo.
Oh no, get that out of here.
All right, it's time to close the show, boys. Belt. I want to thank Coastland Apparel for sponsoring the show today. Also, Jet Designs, look them up on Facebook. I tell you what, Jet AJ, Designs. Let the people know where can they get the Sit Down Marks podcast each and every week.
You can get the Sit Down Marks podcast on Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, live every Friday before the Thomas Bryce show at 6:45 Eastern Standard Time.
Number one.
Thank you. And there's another one in there somewhere. Radio Gaga. Amazon.
We're Queen now.
Yes.
Hey,
Radio
AJ,
Goo Goo.
AJ, some inside pod stuff here. Number 9 tells you exactly what to say.
I know, but it's more fun to try and remember it and then completely vomit.
All right,
it's actually right here on my screen.
Let's get to the MMA weekend picks here, guys. All right, All right, AJ. Coming into this week, you were 22-22 overall, a 500 record. You had 6 fights to choose from this past weekend.
I did.
You went 2-4.
Oh, fuck you.
2-4. So you're going to go into Christmas with a 24-26 record. No picks this weekend because no MMA picks. No MMA on holidays. So, all right. So we'll pick that back up next week.
Wait, how did Primo's lock
of the week?
We are. I'm getting to that. All right. So next up is Primo's MMA lock of the week. Primo, you were 3-2 coming into this week. You picked the Black Beast himself, Derek Lewis. And he got the W, so that brings you to 4-2. So Primo helping out the gamblers out there. No fights to pick from this weekend. That's right.
It's a good record.
His ball's hot. Primo, what's going on next week on the pod, my brother?
Let me tell you, next week we are back with our tag team draft. Now that Primo has a name for his promotion, we can officially get this thing rolling. Our final ECW review of 2001, Guilty as Charged, and Promo School returns with none other than the Rat King.
Yes.
You don't know about the Rat King. Make sure you tune in next week. I'm going to introduce you
to the Rat fantastic.
King. It is awesome. This promo is like, if I'm having a bad day, I put this thing on, man. It makes me laugh every time. Couple notes here, guys. AJ, Primo, what are you loving the most about wrestling right now, AJ?
Bryan Danielson. Hands down, Bryan Danielson.
Primo?
Honestly, what I'm loving about wrestling right now, and it's a little different, but since starting this podcast 43 episodes ago, I have learned a tremendous amount about independent wrestling.
Sure.
Yes,
and I'm learning all about Midwest indie wrestling, and I actually am enjoying it. I know
you're gonna make me cry. You're gonna make me cry.
All these names
I'm gonna tear up.
No idea about before, so it's good.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I'm glad that we're getting more people like yourself out there, to learn who these independent wrestlers are, man. Because I will say this till the day I die, man. Independent wrestling is always going to be the future of wrestling. That's where it begins, man. So, that's just the way it is. That's where it's homegrown. That's the way I feel about it. What I'm excited about, what I'm loving about wrestling right now, it's MJF Punk at this very moment. But if we turn on Dynamite tonight, and by the time we listen to this podcast, if the Briscoes show up, then it's the Briscoes and FTR.
It's the Briscoes.
Dude. Yes, absolutely, man. That's where I'm going to be at. So that's what I'm saying. Who's you guys' favorite champion in all of wrestling right now, man? Who's your favorite guy with the belt?
I got to stick with Roman. He just feels like a mob boss,
Yeah, I agree.
I like it. Who did I pick last time? Last time we did this, I think I went with.
It's been a while, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, I think I went with Omega last time, but I'm gonna switch back to Roman as well because he's the only thing watchable on WWE right now. So I'm going back to him.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to pick against Roman just because he's just the most dominant, attractive champion right now. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's definitely good. I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball here, man. I've kind of been some late nights laying in bed, some sleepless mornings getting up early. I've been watching a lot of Jay White, man, like what he's kind of doing over in New Japan. And, like, I want him in the American market so bad. You know what I mean? Like, this Jay White, we've had Jay White before, but this Jay White, you know what I mean? Like this guy's, man, print the money, dude. Print the money. It's good stuff. But you guys got any notes here before we end? What do you guys think, man? Is Sammy losing the title to Cody tonight? What's your guess on that?
I think that would be the wrong move.
I also think that would be the wrong move, and I don't think it'll happen. I think that Sammy will retain it.
I'll say the right move is only if it's a heel turn with Cody, but I just don't see it like y'all. You know what I mean? I don't. Also seen Enzo he's been on a lot of posters for MLW lately.
Oh, he came back to life after getting buried by Jerry Lawler.
Yeah, so I guess he's going to be coming back on there. Also wanted to announce, we talked to him a while back before the big Zawa show, but we're bringing back Hartenbauer, man. He's going to be our first guest of 2022. Okay. We're going to talk to him before the big Zawa show, January the 8th. He's going to be defending the Zawa Live Championship against JJ Garrett. So we're going to be there for that, but we're going to bring Hartenbauer in, man, to talk about that. So we got that coming up after the first of the year. What you guys got here, man? Anything before we get ready for Santa Claus? Anything?
I'm glad that December to Dismember is over, and we never have to think about it or watch it again.
You know, it's funny, though, because we watched 2 legit ECW pay-per-views in the past 2 weeks, and then go and watch this WWE produced ECW pay-per-view. Yeah. And while the production value was there, the quality of the show itself and the matches were terrible compared to the OG ECW.
It was bad. It was very, very bad.
Now, granted, they obviously had the star power, like, the Hardys and the people that were in the main event. Now, the main event itself was not good.
Right. Yeah, it was, man. And, sometimes we really enjoy going back watching old wrestling. And sometimes we really need to watch this, kind of the bad stuff to, I guess, make us appreciate that, we had to go through bad times, to make us appreciate
and I'm really looking forward to after we do this last ECW. I'm looking forward to our Royal Rumble.
I can't wait for the
very good. Yeah, we're going to be watching the Rumble. Rumble matches, not the whole pay-per-views. We're just going to be breaking down the actual Rumble matches. We got 1992 lined up, 2001, 2002, and 2010 is the list we kind of put together for the month of January. So yeah, that's Primo brought up. That's going to be super fun to cover. So, but yeah, as we close the show here, I wanted to say thank you to everybody listening to us. We had a great first year. I know this is not our end of the year podcast, but we had a great first year. We hope to have a even better second year, and thanks to you guys downloading our podcast, we were able to have a very successful first year. I mean, we have gone way beyond our expectations. We work for a wrestling company now where we sponsor wrestling companies. We've talked to some really great wrestlers and learned so much about the scene, and we just
talked to wrestlers, we talked to promoters, we talked to dude, it's awesome. We started this back in March, and I definitely didn't see it being where we are already, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't even on the show in March.
It's been very successful.
I was not a Sit Down Marks original. I interloped.
You were on in April.
I was. I was a guest on April.
That's right. And then we
had
to make you stay.
He's okay. He can come back.
We like you enough.
He's all right.
That's right. But yeah, just want to thank everybody absolutely for downloading the podcast. We appreciate it. Once again, like I said, we've had a great first year, and just want to thank all you guys for downloading the podcast. Tell a friend. We hope 2022 ends up being an even bigger and better year for us. But I personally here for Primo and AJ wanted to give a special shout out to a guy that works really hard for us behind the scenes. He's done a lot to get our name out there for us, and we want to give a big happy holidays and Merry Christmas to the number one man over at the Sports Wire family.
That's
Merry
right.
Christmas, happy holidays, Thomas Bryce. We love you, brother,
Yes.
for everything that you do. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for helping to get our podcast out there. And
Absolutely.
man, we appreciate it.
Yes.
We really do.
Been a
All
staunch
right.
supporter.
For sure, for sure. He's one of our biggest champions, and we really like that. You know, ever since we got on with SportsWire, you know, it's been a good time.
Yep, we got some big things planned for 2022, like I said. But in the words of Kevin Durant, I'm gonna say this about Thomas Bryce on the way out, my man. You the real MVP, brother. AJ, it's Christmas, man. It's time to go drink the Christmas spirits and open up the presents and have our fun little Christmas vices here. It's time to put down some alcohol, but the only way we can do that, man, is if you take us home first. So AJ, my man, Merry Christmas, boys. I love y'all. I enjoyed doing this pod, man.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all. I've had a great year, man. AJ, take us home, brother.
Grab them cakes, grab them cakes, grab them cakes.